Hello and good evening. I'm Mohan Priya. Welcome to News on 2. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad today hosted an official luncheon to honour the visiting Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim Hamad Al Thani at Sri Perdana Putrajaya. The Qatar ruler, who arrived in Malaysia yesterday for a 3-day working visit, was greeted by Tun Dr. Mahathir upon arrival at the Prime Minister's official residence. Foreign Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Datuk Dr. Mujahid Yusof Rawah, International Trade and Industry Minister Datuk Daryl Laking, National Centre for Governance, Integrity and Anti-Corruption Director General Tan Sri Abu Qasim Muhammad also attended the luncheon. Sheikh Tamim later signed the official guest book at the Protocol Gallery. Earlier, both Tun Dr. Mahathir and Sheikh Tamim held discussions at Perdana Putra. The Foreign Ministry, in a statement, said the visit would provide an excellent opportunity for both leaders to discuss bilateral matters, as well as exchange views on a range of international issues of common concern and mutual interests. Police have opened another 3 investigation papers under the Sedition Act after several reports were lodged against statements posted on the social media allegedly aiming at creating disharmony among all the races in the country. Previously, an investigation paper was opened under the same act following the detention of a blogger concerning the Sri Mahamariman Temple fracas issue. According to Selangor Police Chief Datuk Mazlan Mansor, preliminary investigation would focus on identifying the individuals who purportedly posted seditious words and comments on social media.
Siapa saja yang ingin ada niat jahat sebagainya, khususnya di Selangor ni, yang sengaja menaburkan perkara-perkara yang tidak ada alasan sebagainya untuk mencetuskan pecah keteraman awam, dan kita akan buat report dan kita akan jalan siasatan.
When met by the media during a Maulidur Rasul celebration in Shah Alam, Selangor today, Datuk Mazlan also reminded that the same actions will also be taken against those participating in the planned ISAT rally this Saturday if they are found guilty of flouting the seditious act. Commenting on the temple issue, Datuk Mazlan said so far 102 individuals have been arrested to assist investigations, while 66 people that police have been tracking, only 2 have come forward to provide statements. On injured fireman Mohammad Adib, he said police will only record his statement once they get the green light from the National Heart Institute, IJN. Former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak was summoned today to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC headquarters to facilitate investigation into the alleged tampering of the Auditor General's 1MDB final audit report. Datuk Sri Najib, who arrived at the MACC headquarters at 10:30 a.m., spent about 4 hours there. Datuk Sri Najib was called to the MACC following a statement made by Auditor General Tan Sri Dr. Madinah Mohamad on 24th November that the report was tampered with and that the former Prime Minister knew about it. She also disclosed that 2 crucial subjects dropped from the report were on the presence of wanted businessman Low Teck Joe or Joe Low in a 1MDB board meeting, as well as the financial status of 1MDB. MACC was reported as saying that it had initiated investigation into the report tampering and would be calling several witnesses to assist investigations. Now, the 17 money laundering charges and failure to declare income to the Inland Revenue Board made against Datin Sri Rosmah Mansor will be heard at the Kuala Lumpur High Court. Sessions Court Judge Azura Alwi accepted the application made by the defence to transfer the trial to the High Court, which was approved on 29th November 2018. Datin Sri Rosmah's lawyer, Datuk Geethan Ram Vincent, said today's proceedings were consequently limited to the transfer and added that the date for the cases to be monitored at the High Court have not been set. On 4th October, Datin Sri Rosmah pleaded not guilty in the Sessions Court to 12 counts of money laundering involving over 7 million ringgit and 5 counts of failure to declare her income to the IRB. All the charges were proffered under the Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Terrorism Financing Act 2001 and the updated Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001. Dewan Rakyat Speaker Datuk Muhammad Arif Mat Yusof dismissed a proposal made by Port Dickson Member of Parliament Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim to debate the government's rationale of rejecting to ratify the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination or ICERD. Dato' Muhammad Arif said this is because there is no urgent necessity for the matter to be debated in Parliament.
Telah menolak
sebelum tu, Dato' Speaker boleh sikit.
Nantilah sebentar. Saya telah menolak usul peraturan ataupun aturan 18. Seperti yang kita semua sedia maklum, ada 3 keperluan yang perlu dipenuhi. Jadi setelah menimbangkan keadaan sekeliling dan respon dari pihak-pihak tertentu, saya tidak menganggap perkara ini sebagai suatu perkara yang perlu disegerakan dalam konteks semasa.
Datuk Sri Anwar, who is also PKR President, said the proposal was made to provide explanation on the decision made by the government.
Saya tegaskan di sini ada seolah-olah juxtaposition dengan izin, juxtaposition of ideas. Ada yang mengatakan penolakan ICERD ini seolah-olah kita menghalalkan diskriminasi. Sebab itulah para pertama dalam usul ini menegaskan kita sebagai negara menjadikan keadilan sebagai tonggak, menolak segala bentuk diskriminasi dalam negara kita.
Parents or guardians should be serious in ensuring that their children are immunized to avoid viral or harmful bacterial infections. Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said, should it be ignored, the consequences may be deadly and may also financially burden the government and parents to treat the illnesses.
Saya memandang serius akan perkara ini kerananya kalaulah mereka terkena akan ataupun dihinggapi akan tadi measles, mumps, rubella, diphtheria, ya, whooping cough, semua yang 10, 12 yang kita imunisasikan itu termasuk JE di Sarawak itu, andainya mereka down dengan izin, down dengan penyakit seperti ini, maka kos merawat mereka itu adalah jauh lebih besar.
Speaking in Parliament today, Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli said vaccination services for children are provided at all health facilities nationwide. However, children who fail to show identification documents as citizens will be charged an immunization fee based on the Fees Implementation for Child Health Services under the Fees Medical Cost of Service Order 2014. The charge of 40 ringgit includes a registration fee, consultation and medication for 5 days and an additional 40 ringgit for immunization. Now, rabies-related death cases in Sarawak has increased to 13 out of the 14 people infected, with the latest being a 21-year-old man from Kuching, Sarawak, on 28 November. Of the total 14 recorded, 13 have succumbed to the disease, while one is still being treated at home for neurological complications. The number was recorded since the declaration of the disease on 30th June 2017. Health Director General Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, in a statement, said, as of 4th December 2018, the state government had declared 54 areas at 11 divisions in the state as rabies-infected areas among animals. Of all the areas in the state, only Limbang is free of rabies. Members of the public are reminded to take precautionary steps in order to avoid being infected by rabies. The Ministry of Health and the Sarawak State Health Department are committed to enhance cooperation with the state government, the Veterinary Services Department, other agencies and neighbouring countries such as Indonesia to ensure that rabies infection prevention and control measures are implemented thoroughly and effectively. The Entrepreneur Development Ministry has announced the appointment of Datuk Nuripah Kamso as the new chairman of Bank Rakyat effective immediately. Datuk Nuripah, who was an advisor of CIMB Islamic, takes over from Tan Sri Shukri Mohammad Saleh. On 26 November, Tan Sri Shukri was removed as chairman of the bank over his alleged involvement in the tampering of the original audit report on One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MTB, when he was chief private secretary to former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak. In a statement released today, the ministry said Datuk Nuripah was also the former chief executive officer of CIMB Principal Islamic Asset Management Sdn Berhad and chief executive officer of CIMB Principal Asset Management Sdn Berhad. She currently sits sits on the board of BIMB Investment Management Berhad and Top Glove Corporation Berhad. Additionally, the ministry also announced the appointment of Wan Suraya Wan Mohammad Radzi, who is currently its Secretary General, as a member of the new Bank Rakyat Board. The government will channel allocations to carry out research and development on the third National Car Project prototype. Minister of Entrepreneur Development, Datuk Sri Mohammad Ridwan Yusof, however, did not reveal the allocation amount, as it will be announced by the Prime Minister, Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad himself.
I'll let the Prime Minister announce it. They're quite significant as a catalyst to attract private participation in the special purpose vehicle that we are establishing now, to have that seed capital to move the national car project.
Datuk Sri Mohammad Ridwan said this after attending the Market Share Seminar 2018 in Bursa Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. It was reported earlier that Minister of Economic Affairs, Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali, said the third national car prototype is expected to be introduced to the public earliest by next year. Beginning 1st January 2019, contributions to the Employees Provident Fund, or EPF, for employees and employers will be streamlined according to the Minimum Wages Order amended 2018 for a sum of 1,000 ringgit for the Peninsula, Sabah and Sarawak. This was announced in statement form from EPF Chief Executive Officer Tunku Ali Zakri alias. According to the statement, the amount of contributions received by EPF for every employee earning monthly salaries cannot be less than the minimum of 264 ringgit, depending on the number of working days each month. For those earning weekly, daily or hourly wages, different sets of minimum contributions apply. Currently, of the 7.11 million active EPF contributors, only 1.64 million, or 23%, contributed less than the current minimum salary of 1,000 ringgit. EPF records state that about 64% of members who have reached the age of 54 have savings of less than 50,000 ringgit, which is worrying compared to the rising cost of living and family household debt. All EPF registered employers have been notified of the streamlining exercise, and EPF will work together with them to ensure the changes are conducted smoothly. The country's first geothermal power plant project in Sabah, which should have been operational by 31st December last year, is now found abandoned and overgrown with weeds. Energy, Science, Technology, Environment and Climate Change Minister Yeo Bee Yin said, based on her visit to the site of the project, which was implemented on the 2nd July 2015, the plant was found not showing any progress.
Berdasarkan pemeriksaan tapak yang dijalankan, kerajaan mendapati bahawa tiada sebarang kemajuan projek yang ditunjukkan. Sebagai contoh, operasi pengkerudian telah diberhentikan sejak suku ketiga 2016 dan slim hole telah pun ditutup dengan wellhead. Kesemua kabin sementara dan kelengkapan pengkerudian yang diberhentikan semasa lawatan tapak tidak lagi di atas tapak. Dan ketiga ialah tiada langsung kaki tangan yang ditempatkan di tapak projek dan rumpai panjang kelihatan sudah pun tumbuh meliah.
Yeo Bee Yin said this during Minister's question time at the Dewan Rakyat in Parliament, Kuala Lumpur. The project, which was developed by Tawau Green Energy Sdn Berhad, appeared to have stopped operations, and therefore on 29th August this year, the government, through the Sustainable Energy Development Authority, SEDA, decided to cancel the approval given. The minister further noted that the 37 megawatt generation incentive quota from the project would be redistributed to other viable renewable energy projects, especially biogas, biomass and hydro. But first, hockey. Malaysia drew 1-1 with Pakistan last night at the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar, India, a score which barely keeps their hopes alive in Group D of hockey's World Cup. In what was expected to be a turning point in their campaign, Malaysia failed to capitalise on the 7 penalty corners that came their way and had to settle for a point instead. Pakistan opened the scoring in the 51st minute through Muhammad Atiq's field goal after the first 3 quarters of the match went scoreless for both teams, while Malaysia's pace-saving goal was delivered by Faisal Saari, who converted the 6th penalty corner given to the Speedy Tigers in the 55th minute. Earlier, in another Group D match, Germany beat the Netherlands 4-1 to top the group with 6 points, while Malaysia lie at the bottom with 1 point. Now Malaysia must beat Germany in their final group match and hope Pakistan get thrashed by the Netherlands for any hope of advancing past the group stage. Harimau Malaya pulled off a historic win at the Rajamangala Stadium, overcoming the hosts Thailand on away goals, courtesy of a 2-2 draw in the second leg of their thrilling AFF Suzuki Cup 2018 semi-final encounter last night. Now, the War Elephants were the much-favoured side after holding Malaysia to a goalless draw in the first leg, but the visitors showed some pluck and desire to secure a spot in the final. Thailand were the first to draw blood when Malaysian goalkeeper Farizal Marlia's save from a Titipan Puangchan header was accidentally bundled into the Malaysian goal by substitute Irfan Zakaria in the 20th minute. 7 minutes later, Malaysia equalised through a Shami Safari thunderbolt. The Selangor right-back, who received the ball from Shamir Kuti Abba from the middle, drove forward and took a thunderous shot which went past the hapless Chatchai Butprom in the 27th minute. In the second half, Thailand upped the tempo and got their reward when Pansa Hemvibun headed past goalkeeper Farizal in the 63rd minute. But 7 minutes later, Malaysia equalised again through a brilliant finish from Nur Shahrul Idlan. Thailand could have won the match after Shami gave away a penalty in the 3rd minute of injury time, but luck was on Malaysia's side as Adisak Kaisorn skied his penalty. That miss was a great relief for Malaysia, and as they held on to the result to qualify for the final, where they will face either Vietnam or the Philippines in a 2-legged final on 11th and 15th December. Meanwhile, Malaysia head coach Tan Cheng Ho felt that cool heads were the key to his side's success in overcoming defending champions Thailand to reach the 2018 AFF Suzuki Cup final. With the score tied at 2-2 and the Harimau Malaya set to progress on away goals, the Thais were awarded a penalty in added time to give them the perfect opportunity to go through. But even then, Tan had faith that his side would prevail, and this faith was rewarded when Adisak Kaisorn hit the spot kick well over the bar.
Yes, the first 45 minutes we see the players play very well. We get the result 1-1, and then again in the second half we need to be composed and we need to move the ball. We need to keep the ball at the same time. We need to be focused on the counter attack or sometimes set pieces from the high team. Of course, I think the second half the players really played according to the tactical and very good tactical discipline, and I think again it's an amazing result.
Tan was delighted with the composure of his players in such a challenging environment, as despite going behind twice, they managed to fight back and achieve the required result. Cheng Ho is optimistic that his squad, with a mixture of senior and young players, has the quality to perform well in the 2-legged final and bring back the trophy to Malaysia.
Yeah, I think it's a great motivation for the players who are coming to play for the final. Of course, Shami is playing well throughout this tournament. He's a fantastic goal scorer, one of the best goals in the tournament, and I think probably missed one game in the final. Then of course it's ideal to check whether he's serious and soon. Other than that, I think the other players, Ivan and also playing well, so I hope these players getting their confidence and good momentum and ready for the final match.
And with that, we conclude this evening's News on 2. In our top story today, police open another 3 investigation papers on the Temple riots. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Mohana Priya. Stay tuned to TV2 and have a great evening.